Software sizing. Now, first thing is, in order to give estimate for any project, I'm not talking only about a software project. Any project, what is the size, what will be the size, and if you want to accurately measure it or estimate it. So software project estimate depends on the accuracy of all these depends on what you have done. That is the degree to which you have properly estimated the size of the product to be built. If you know in advance that this much broad or this much wide software I am going to make, these are the line of code, or you can divide it into functionality. So if you know that line of codes, this will be there, this will be the function, then you will be saying that, oh, I can estimate. The second thing is, once you have found out the line of code and function points and the use cases or the processes, then you may be able to translate all these into actual estimation parameters or estimated parameters. That is, once you get the size, you can tell what will be the effort required, human effort required, person month required, the calendar time, the time required to complete, and of course the dollars, the money. Then if the project planning is done so that it knows and it attributes the responsibilities and abilities of software team. That is, if you talk about the giants like Infosys and the Wipros and the Accentures, they have good team, they hire good people, and they follow a proper software engineering work environment. That is why the abilities are used. And finally, whether the requirements and the environment is stable, because until you understand the requirement, there is no point in going ahead. And wherever you work or wherever the project is being made, the software engineering environment and all the other environment like the infrastructure, etc., has to be stable. So software sizing, as I said, can be function point, it can be line of code. In project planning, the size is a quantifiable outcome. If you know the size, if you can estimate the size, you can find out the size, or you can anticipate the size from, any way, empirically, heuristically, anyway, the size is a quantifiable outcome. Okay. So the direct approach for software sizing is simple. You know how many line of codes you have written or going to write. The size of can be line of code. Just count the number of instruction. We also call it as the DSI, delivered instruction, software instruction. So this is how direct approach can be done. Or otherwise, you can use the indirect approach. That is the function points. That is function, how many functions this code or this software is going to give. Function points. So this is the software sizing, either line of code or the function points you can apply and you can use. Okay, function point we have already seen in the earlier chapters, how to find it out. Putnam and Myers, they suggested 4 different approach for the sizing problem. What were there? Fuzzy logic sizing, then FP sizing, function point sizing, standard component sizing, the change sizing. These are software sizing, and size can be estimated by various parameters aspect to be kept under consideration. First of all, what is the type of project? In which application domain you are going to work? Either it is a real-time system or an embedded system or a wireless application or for say mobile application. And what are the functionality delivered? The functionality delivered is nothing but the function points. These are the basic function points. Functionality delivered. So it may happen that in some software there will be multiple functionality. There may be some less functionality in some of the project. And then the number of components to be delivered. See, the function point and functions are operation and say methods and function. Components are the combined, you can say it is a module kind of thing. So you combine various functions to make a component. So component can be delivered. For example, I'll just give you an example. This is an e-commerce website and you are making it, and mainly people will buy and you use the payment gateway. When they will use a payment gateway, that particular component is already made. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, so that components can be delivered, can be bought. The degree to which a set of existing component must be modified for the new system. Now you already have a system or a component already there, and then you can reuse it with some certain modification. So these are the size can be estimated by considering all these factors. Now Putnam and Myers, they also suggest the result of these sizing approach that can be combined statistically. You can create a 3-point or an expected value. 3-point is, I'll give you an example of both of them. Just assume there are 3 people. 3 people. And for the same size, same value or same aspect, one person is very optimistic. He's very optimistic. He says everything will go right. The pessimistic will say nothing will go right. And then most likely, he will say he's logical. He'll say, okay, this can happen, this will not happen. He's logical. So that is what we are saying, that first one is optimistic, the middle one is most likely, and the third one is pessimistic. First one will have the lowest value, last one will have the highest value, and most likely will be having middle value. So this expression is actually a PERT expression, but I'll tell you from where it has come. Because mainly we are talking about 3-point, but we will not be using it. We will be using this expected value estimate. See, say the optimism was say S optimism, the pessimistic is say SPESS. I've changed the people, okay? So don't worry about that. And the middle one, of course, we have to worry about. So we said S sub M. We combine them, divide by 3. This is called the 3-point. This is used, but in our computation, we will use the PERT. Same thing, 3-point and expected value, but only we will give certain weight. We will multiply the middle one with 4, and the division is with divisor is 6. So the first one is optimistic, second one is most likely, third one is pessimistic. And this is the size we are going to accept. In any project, the sizing approach estimation can be done using this.